Hi, boys and girls. I hope everybody's doing well and had a great Memorial Day weekend. Um, so, we're going to be doing lesson 7-5, and it's more measuring. And this time, though, you're going to be measuring with meters. And we're going to talk about what a meter is in a little bit. But first, we're going to do some quick looks. Are you ready? Here we go. This is going to be super fast. You probably know why it was super fast, right? Because if you took all of those and moved them over, you'd have that 10. So hopefully you're getting really good at that and recognizing the 10 frame with the 5 and the 5. So really this one was 6 and the 4 because 6 and 4 is 10. Okay, here's another one. Were you able to get that one? There it is again. So maybe you took these 5 and slid them over there to make that 10 and knew that you had 2 extras. So 10 and 2 is 12. Or maybe you took these 3 and slid them over there to fill that 10s frame, and then 2 more is the 12. Okay, last one. So on this one, what I did, and it's okay if you did it different, but I know that this is 7 because I see the 3 missing, and I know 10 minus 3 is 7, and then I saw that this was the same exact thing, so I knew 7 plus 7 is 14. Now if you took 3 and filled the frame and had 4 left, that's another way to do it too, to get the 14. Good job. Okay, so next I want to do some mental math. Remember, mental math is you're figuring it in your head, and on the ones today, we're doing 3 addends, and so the addends are the numbers that you add together to get the sum. Remember, the sum is the answer to your addition problem. So we're going to start out with this first one, and you can see it's 7 plus 9 plus 3. So if you're trying to do this in your head, what I would do to make it easier is group. If you can ever find groups of 10, do that first. I can see that 7 and 3 is 10. That makes it a whole lot easier to add 10 and 9 and get my answer of 19. Okay? So look for 10s. Let's look at this one and see if you see anything that might help. I don't see a 10, but I do know 8 plus 6 is 14. Then I know I've got 14 plus 14. When I do 14 plus 14, I know I've got this 10, and then the other 10 from my 14. So I know I've got 20, and then 4 and 4 is 8. So this one's 28. How about this one? I can't make a 10, but I can make a 20. 15 and 5, I can make 20. 17 and 3, I can make 20. So then I do 20, and 20 is 40. So again, you're looking for those easy ways to combine the numbers to get an answer. Down here, 12, 26, 14, 8. Do you see anything that might go together well? When I look at this, again, I look to the 12 and the 8 because I know 12 and 8 is 20. And it's going to be easier to add that 20. Then I look at 26 and 14. I see the 2 10s and 1 10 is 3 10s, so I know that's 30. I see 36, and then 4 more is 40. So I know this number right here is 40. I know these 2 are 20, so then in my head, I can add 40 and 20 and get my total of 60. Okay, so keep working on those mental math strategies and trying to find numbers that work well together for you to add. All right, so I want you to think for a minute. If I asked you to measure your kitchen table, what units might you use to measure? Some of you might have said I'll measure it in inches. Some might have said feet. Some might have said yards. Those are all the things that we've already talked about in measurement, and those are all good answers. So if you did inches, right, If you had a smaller kitchen table, you might do it with inches, right? We know 12 inches makes 1 foot, right? And that's what the ruler is. So you could do it in feet. Or you could do it in yards with the yardstick, which is what we did the other day, right? And 36 inches, which is 3 feet, is a yard. So you could do that. And you could also, if you were measuring like your doll's kitchen table, you can do centimeters. Remember, centimeters is on the other side of the ruler, and they're smaller units. So you're going to get more of these when you measure something because your unit is smaller. So there's centimeters on this side. There's inches on this side. We know 12 inches is a foot. We know 3 feet makes a yard. Remember I showed you this the other day? If I put all of these rulers end to end, I would see that three rulers makes the yard. Now, the thing that we're going to talk about today, the new measurement, is meters. So I don't have a meter stick, but I know how to make one. So a meter is 100 centimeters. So if you look at a yardstick, not on the inch side, on the centimeter side, you will see that it's got 91 centimeters. We need 100 centimeters. So what I did actually is I put 2 yardsticks behind each other. So now if I took and added another 9, that would be how long a meter is. So you can see it's about that much longer. A meter is about that much longer than a yard. No. So meter stick is about 9 centimeters longer than a yard. So we would use a meter stick, or we would use a yardstick to measure longer distances. We would use an inch or a centimeter or a foot to measure shorter distances. So I just want to show you this too. So this I wrote down just to kind of remind you of the different things that we've talked about measuring. And we just said inches, right? And the abbreviation for inches is IN. Feet, the abbreviation is FT. Yards, the abbreviation is YD. Centimeters, we abbreviate with CM. And then the one we're talking about today, meters, okay, the abbreviation for that is just an M, but I want you to remember too that it's 100 centimeters makes a meter, okay? So what you're going to be doing today is on page 178 of your math journal. And it's asking you to do some estimating and measuring. So you're going to choose the measure, the unit that you're going to use, either centimeters or meters, okay? Those are the only 2 you're choosing from today. So remember, centimeters are the small units, right? Meters are the larger, it's 100 centimeters, okay? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this again, and actually you can do inches or feet too. So all the ones that we're talking about, inches, feet, yards, centimeters, and meters, are ones that you can use to complete this page. So what you're going to do is look at what they've said, the height of a desk, the side of a calculator, the width of a door, the width means how wide it is, or where it says side of classroom, instead of doing side of classroom, just do like the side of your bedroom maybe. Then down here, you get to choose your own. So do 2 other distances that you're going to estimate and measure, okay? So now what it says here, it says metric units, and then it says US customary units. So inches, feet, and yards are US customary units. Centimeters and meters are what we call metric. So when they're asking you to do US customary units, you're choosing from inches, feet, or yards. When they want you to use metric, you're using centimeters or meters, okay? So you're gonna do both on the assignment. You can see up at the top, it says metric unit or US customary unit, So if you're doing the metric unit, when you do your estimate, you have to do either centimeters or meters. When you do the US customary unit, you have to do inches, feet, or yards. Okay, so you're gonna estimate and then actually measure. Estimate, actually measure. So for the first one, the height of a desk, if I were doing my countertop, which is right in front of me, I know you can't see, but it's right here. If I were doing that, I would estimate what I think in centimeters, and then I would actually measure it. And then I would estimate for the US how many maybe feet or inches, and then do the actual measurement. So you're estimating and you're measuring in both US, which is customary units, and in metric. Okay? So have fun measuring, and make sure when you're measuring, I want to just remind you, if I'm measuring the book, make sure when you line up your ruler that the beginning of the ruler is at the beginning of what you're measuring. You can't do it like that, because then you're adding length to your measurement. You can't do it like that, because then I've missed this. So the edge of the ruler has to be at the edge of what you're measuring, and then take it through all the way here. So if I were measuring this book in inches, I would say that it's really close to 11 inches. And then if I were doing it, that's the US. If I were doing it this way with metric, and I was doing centimeters, it's 27 centimeters. Remember, centimeters, you're going to have a higher number because your units are smaller, okay? All right, happy measuring. Have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. Good job. Keep up the great work with your math.